some breaking news on another case you've been following. There's a verdict coming in, or the verdict is in the Diddy trial, okay? So on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, we have a verdict. Go ahead, Jamie. So what was the verdict? Unable to get a unanimous verdict on count 1, Misty. No unanimous verdict on count 1, okay? So that's first. So the judge is hearing from the government and the defense on proposals to send back the jury. All right, let me repeat that. So this is the sixth note from the jury. They have reached a verdict on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, but they're unable to get a unanimous vote on count 1. So now they're going back and forth in court on proposals to send back the jury. So where does this go, Misty, I wonder?
Right. This is interesting. So they're unanimous on 2, 3, 4, and 5. I happen to have my handy-dandy verdict sheet right here, Connell.
Yep.
So that means they're unanimous on the sex trafficking. That's count 2 relating to Cassie Ventura.
Okay.
They're unanimous on the Mann Act. They're unanimous on sex trafficking, Jane. Unanimous on prostitution, crossing the line, state lines, prostitution, Jane. It means they're not unanimous on racketeering.
So racketeering's count 1.
Yes,
right?
Count 1. So the judge is making a determination to send the jury back into the jury room in order to continue to deliberate. Now, what we're talking about here, both parties are saying, what is the instruction going to be? Is it going to be go back in the jury room and deliberate, or is it going to be what we call a dynamite charge, which is basically the last chance. It's the last-ditch effort. Everybody go back in. The people that are in the minority, listen to those in the majority and have an open mind. Don't change your convictions, but have an open mind. So what will be communicated is going to be critical to how quickly this case gets done.
Well, we've had so many conversations about this, especially in the early part of the trial, in particular, Misty, about the RICO charge, right? That would be, you know, you're basically asking this jury to say that this guy is at the head of a criminal enterprise, kind of like a mob boss, which is what we've compared it to in the past. So that's the one where they can't get to a unanimous verdict, which probably, if you were going to pick one, wouldn't necessarily be a surprise. I mean, what did you think of the racketeering charge to begin with?
Not at all. I actually thought the racketeering charge would either be an acquittal or it would be a hung jury, because it's really complicated. You have to agree not only that there was a conspiracy and an enterprise, those are threshold questions, but you also, as a jury, have to unanimously agree on the underlying 2 predicate crimes that are required to establish RICO. So all of that in total, that's a lot of agreeing, Connell. That's a lot of unanimity, right? So it's difficult to come to a consensus on that. I always felt like it was thin, but I'm not surprised to hear a hung jury. That, to me, and listen, that hasn't been declared, by the way. I'm saying hung jury, but it's not a hung jury till the judge declares it. But I'm not surprised to hear that they're having difficulty coming to a consensus on that count. So
one of the options available to the judge in this case is to accept this partial verdict that's been reached. In other words, you could say, right, that, all right, you can't get an agreement on racketeering. Okay, fine. That's where the hung jury is, but we'll accept the verdict, which they've reached on the other charges. We don't know what the verdict is, but they could just, the judge could just accept the partial verdict, right?
Yes, at some point, but he would have to read what we call the dynamite charge first, an Allen charge.
Allen charge, so, right.
Yes.
Okay, so explain that a little.
He'll either read the Allen charge or the dynamite charge, and which would tell the jury to really listen to those that are in the, whoever's in the minority, to listen to who's in the majority, keep an open mind, listen to the arguments. So he'll listen to that, or he'll make a decision. The judge will make a decision whether to read the Allen charge or whether or not to say go back in and deliberate and maybe read the Allen charge at a later time. That's what the lawyers are likely speaking about with the court right now. Okay, so now it's time to kind of take a second and think about the testimony that we had in the trial. So what stood out to you now that we know there's been a partial verdict? Again, we don't know what the partial verdict is. We just know that on the on the RICO charges, racketeering, they can't reach a unanimous verdict.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.